And one of those big leaders for years and years and years at this club is Luka Modrić, and now he is out the door. So they have to figure out how to way to replace him. But let's talk Luka Modrić, because what an incredible career. One of the best midfielders, without a doubt, in this generation. And he's won it all, 28 trophies during his time. Who had a better Real Madrid career, Luka Modrić or Zinedine Zidane? But this man was the main man this season for Real Madrid. 43 goals in all competitions in 56 matches, 5 assists, 2 trophies, and most goals in Europe's top 5 leagues. He wins Pichichi, and he also wins the European Golden Boot. So we've seen a fantastic individual season for Kylian Mbappé at Real Madrid in his first season. Now that they've seen him at his best, has this team now learned how they need to build a team around him to not only have individual success, but to also have team success?
I don't agree with you. They haven't seen him at his best. Now, the goals are remarkable, yes. Statistically, it's fantastic. 43 goals, 31 in La Liga. It's super impressive. I agree there. The statistics don't lie that he deserves to win Pichichi, and he deserves to be celebrated for that first season in La Liga, where it's very difficult to go to a club the size of Real Madrid and have immediate success, especially in front of goal. But I think he'll be determined, obviously, as to how we celebrate his career with trophies, right? He also individually, it wasn't necessarily his personal best. And my feeling is that there's more to come from Kylian Mbappé in this Real Madrid jersey. He will be upset with the fact that the team around him were a little disgruntled when he first arrived at the football club. Remember the disagreement on who's taking the penalty kick? Is it Jude Bellingham? No. Is it Vinny Jr.? No. Is it Kylian Mbappé? Nobody knew who was the penalty kick taker at the football club. Even Ancelotti didn't know who the penalty kick taker was at the football club. That disagreement I didn't quite understand. But Kylian Mbappé kept going about his business. And that business was, I'm going to score goals, and I'm going to do everything I possibly can in my power to give this team a chance to lift a trophy, a major trophy. I'm not talking about the other trophies that happened on the other side of the road. I don't care about them. A major trophy is what Real Madrid and that institution is all about. It's built around success. You are judged upon success. Ancelotti wouldn't be leaving this club had he won a major trophy. Had he won a Champions League, he'd still be there, in my personal opinion. However, Kylian Mbappé has room for improvement. He can do better. And I think now that leadership quality has to come out. He's got to be more aggressive in a very mature, disciplined way. Can't be arguing with your teammates. You can never ever walk into that locker room and demand excellence from the get-go. The only way he could ever showcase it to his teammates was by scoring goals. So now he's got that Pichichi, and he's proven his worth within that group. Training sessions are different. He is viewed a little bit more different, in my personal opinion, from the Jude Bellinghams, from the Vinny Juniors, who are the most important players now at that football club, where he knows that he can potentially inspire them to be better. Now, Vinny Junior's where the question's at for me. Does he stay at the football club? Does he go from the football club? What happens to Rodrigo? Does he stay at the football club? Does he go from the football club? We've heard rumours about players obviously coming in through the door, and we recognise they will improve. But we do understand that the man on the bench is going to change.
Yes. And
and that man on the bench, I know from personal experience, demands excellence every single day. And Kylian Mbappé hasn't let his team down. But the other players, the Jude Bellinghams, the Vinny Juniors, the Rodrigos, they have some way let themselves down, and in many ways they let the Real Madrid fans down, and that's why they didn't win many trophies this season.
And you talk about just the leadership that this club now needs moving forward, and they need to figure out how to build this team around Kylian Mbappé to have team success, not just individual success. And one of those big leaders for years and years and years at this club is Luka Modrić, and now he is out the door. So they have to figure out how to way to replace him. But let's talk Luka Modrić, because what an incredible career. One of the best midfielders, without a doubt, in this generation. And he's won it all, 28 trophies during his time. Who had a better Real Madrid career, Luka Modrić or Zinedine Zidane?
No, there's no argument here. Zinedine Zidane, as a professional, was absolutely brilliant. As a football player, he was mesmeric, right? We all loved the artistry that was Zinedine Zidane. But you can never, ever argue that Luka Modrić, with the 28, which is a record for any Real Madrid player, and what he did do in 591 games, 95 assists, 43 goals, winning a Ballon d'Or. I mean, what he did do at that football club, it's unheralded. He is the one who stands alone, in my personal opinion, at the very top. Now, there have been many players, if we go through history, I go back to Raul days, we can go even further than that if you want. Yeah, Stefano, we can go all the way back to the greatest who have ever played at this football club. This guy should be heralded as similar value, if not better value, the way they brought him into the football club, not even knowing if he was going to have a place at Real Madrid, if he was even going to start at the club, and to leave having won 28 trophies and affected that club in such a positive way. He was there through all these historic moments. The number on the side of the arm in the Champions League doesn't say as many if he's not at that football club. The championships he won domestically, I'm sure he would have wanted more. But he will be remembered for what he did, in my personal opinion, in the Champions League and domestically by those supporters. And that is why they stopped the game for 5 minutes.
Well deserved.
To honour this guy. The referee gave him a hug. Lucas Vazquez left, by the way. I want to let everybody know that. He's also departed the football club, but they, pushed him off. And he was there as well. He was celebrated at the club and obviously was there at the same time as Luka Modrić. But this guy is on another level. And it's crazy for people to say that because Zinedine Zidane done so well for the football club as a manager. But as a player, I don't think there's been anyone better.
All of the trophies, all of the talk, all of the stats, 6 Champions Leagues at one club. I mean, it's incredible. Those are numbers that are very hard that any player will ever be able to reach.
Yeah.
Excuse me, what?
Special.
Yeah, it's absolutely special. Yeah. Someone else leaving, obviously, Carlo Ancelotti, the manager, the legend. There is, I think, a little bit of mixed opinions on his departure from the club, but without a doubt, one of the most legendary managers and the most successful manager in club history. 15 titles with Real Madrid, and of course he'll be leaving the club, and Xabi Alonso taking over. First off, just a quick word on what Ancelotti has meant to this club, and just at a time where they needed stability to continue a movement from Zidane into Ancelotti, they didn't skip a beat and continued on winning.
I mean, the statue will be built for Carlo Ancelotti for what he did do for Real Madrid. He created a culture that so many people didn't quite expect could be achieved at a club like Real Madrid. We know it's individual brilliant players that go to the football club, but creating a culture that wins consistently is very difficult to do. So yeah, 15 trophies, 15 titles is exceptional for someone like Carlo Ancelotti. He should be absolutely celebrated. Some of the statistics simply don't lie. The most games in club history with 353. That should be celebrated. Having that type of time on the bench at Real Madrid, I mean, no one gets it. And he is someone who's been celebrated and should be celebrated because of it. Then it's also the wins at the football club, 250 wins from those games. It's just so special. What a great achievement, what a great individual, such a spectacular player he was back in his own day himself. But as a manager, I don't know if there's been a better one in the history of football. Special manager, special time. What a great time he's had at that football club. Build the statue. Yeah. Let's celebrate him.
Without a doubt. And now, Xabi, obviously a monumental experience to become the manager of Real Madrid. But boy, he has a lot of work to do this summer, Ian.
He's got a lot of work to do, Xabi Alonso. And of course, Hansi Flick will be laughing on the other side of El Clasico right now with the lesson he taught Carlo Ancelotti. I mean, listen, they've got to make some sort of transfer movement to make sure that their team is going to be better. They've already signed a defender, and Huijsen comes in from Bournemouth. Excellent signing that is, by the way, because there's youth there that they can build around. Trent Alexander-Arnold, obviously, coming in on that right fullback position, we would expect will fit in well, obviously loving to get forward. Xabi Alonso obviously knows him very well, so he knows how to get the best out of him. And I think Real Madrid have the squad to be competitive once again. If anything I can do to say about Real Madrid is they look tired this year. You've gone through Copa America, you've gone through the Euros, where many of your players competed at the latter stages of those competitions. And I do believe that this will be a much more rejuvenated Real Madrid side. I think that they have an opportunity under Xabi Alonso, who will expect excellence. Of course, he's going to be in charge at the FIFA Club World Cup as well, right? Yep. So he's going to have a short period of time to get it right, because there's a lot of money at stake at that competition. But he's going to have a short period of time to get it right in the training ground before he does get to business, because his tactics are completely different from what we've witnessed under Carlo Ancelotti.
And there'll be a lot to fix on that back line with all of the injuries that they had.
Health though, Stefano, right?
He does. They just need health as well to be able to get everyone on the pitch, because they didn't have a lot of their options all season long available in some of these massive matches.
Where do they end up, though? I'm going to put you on the spot, because you've been hot with this Napoli tip. Where do they end up next season in La Liga?
Where Real Madrid end up?
Yeah, come on.
I say that they're competing for the title next year without a doubt.
Enough. I need a spot.
I say second.
Second behind?
Behind Barcelona again. Write it down.